Let's jump into the first story from CNN Business. You know we love CNN.
We do.
CNN reports Elon Musk threatens to walk away from Twitter deal. Interesting choice of headline based on what the story is. It's a lot bigger than that. They say Elon Musk issued his most direct threat yet to walk away from his purchase of Twitter on Monday, openly accusing the social media company of breaching the merger agreement by not providing the data he has requested on spam and fake accounts. In a letter to Twitter's head of legal policy and trust, Vijaya Gadde, Musk alleged that Twitter is actively resisting and thwarting his information rights, as outlined in the deal. This is a clear material breach of Twitter's obligations under the merger agreement. And Mr. Musk reserves all rights resulting therefrom, including his right not to consummate the transaction and his right to terminate the merger agreement. Now, Twitter apparently issued a response saying that they have been very cooperative in sharing information as per the terms of the agreement. That just says to me that they're not giving him what he wants. Now, a Wall Street Journal story said that Musk had stated he needs the data in order to secure financing. I'm wondering if the people backing this deal, the 19 investors, outright said, we want to know how many spam bots are on this platform before we give this money. Because if it turns out it's twice or 3 times or even 4 times as high as Twitter remarked, we're going to see our value plummet. Could you imagine if you invested $1 billion in Twitter and then the next day they're like, here's the disclosure, it's actually 5 times more spam bots. There's going to be, how many, 20%, the company just going to drop by that much value. So they're saying no. I don't know exactly, but it seems to me like they're trying to stop Elon Musk. That makes the most sense, not that Elon Musk isn't trying to buy it.
Or, Tim, it could be the Twitter employees who want to continue to work from home and only want to work 2 hours out of the week or whatever they're doing because again, there's a huge disconnect between the employees at Twitter, the whole establishment that is Twitter that has used this kind of information highway for political purposes. Twitter is extremely biased. It has been using its platform for political purposes, for corporate purposes, for the benefit of a lot of powerful people who wield that power. And I think the bigger core issue here is that probably Twitter has something to hide that they don't want the general public to know. It could be the number of fake accounts because there could be a lot of governments, a lot of corporations, a lot of celebrities propping up spam bots, propping up narratives and agendas in such an artificial way that it would shock the entire system if people would find out.
But it's fascinating and also not surprising how the mainstream media, and you mentioned that headline, is choosing to spin it, because you've given 2 now really legitimate reasons why this is on Twitter's end, because Elon Musk is asking for information. If they give him the information and it's under 5%, then he'll have no excuse but to move forward with the deal. And so I laugh. This article's from AP. It says that this has led some experts to question whether the billionaire wants to use his loud complaints to negotiate a lower deal price or even walk away entirely. He's asking for the information. If it is what they say it is, give it to him, and then he won't walk away.
Yeah, release it. Make the internet more accountable, more transparent. Why should powerful people use fake accounts in order to promote illusions that aren't real reality? That's an important aspect here, because we have to understand here, governments have been creating fake accounts to push war narratives.
Exactly. Well, and it's also to manufacture consensus, right? And we saw this with a report that we were talking about a week or so ago, that about half of Joe Biden's followers are fake, which is hilarious, right? Because we're almost certain, given how coherent sounding the tweets are, that Joe Biden is not running that Twitter account. So you have a non-president running a presidential account being followed by a bunch of non-followers.
I don't get, though, why, even if Twitter is admitting that it's under 5%, it's admitting there's some number of bots, why wouldn't Twitter purge any bots? Because if you can identify the bots, you know how many you have.
I think they did. So the day after the deal's announced, we see progressive and celebrity accounts drop dramatically.
Oh, they whined about it too.
And libertarian and conservative skyrocket in following count. My personal view of this, it is probable, I'm not saying I have evidence or anything, I think what may be happening is that Twitter often talks about the health of the conversation. There's a law on the internet that any sufficiently unmoderated platform will become right-wing. I think Twitter was becoming dominated by the right. So Twitter intervened and started suppressing right-wing voices and creating fake accounts to make it seem like the left was more prominent than it was. That's my thought on what may be, because then the day after the deal's announced, it just flips. And they said it was organic. There's no way Katy Perry's 200,000 follower loss or whatever, it makes no sense. People are like, I'm a follower of Katy Perry, but now that Elon Musk might buy the platform, I'm out. I don't buy it.
No, and you got how many more followers in 3 days? You
100K.
said? 100K.
They were unbanning people. They were unbanning people who had been long since banned. So I think they were manipulating something. Let me read what Twitter wrote, because we have this over at the Daily Mail. It says, quote, Twitter has and will continue to cooperatively share information with Mr. Musk to consummate the transaction in accordance with the terms of the merger agreement. We believe this agreement is in the best interest of the shareholders. We intend to close the transaction, blah, blah, blah. Now look at that first sentence. Twitter has and will continue to cooperatively share information. Notably absent from that statement was, we have complied with Mr. Musk's request to provide the data requested to help facilitate the transaction. That statement, as they published it, says to me, they're denying Elon Musk the information, and they're using weasel words, legalese, to make it seem like they're actually complying.
Lawyer talk. I hate lawyer talk. I hate people who talk in these kind of weird, vague terms, because you know they're up to something. They're trying to be nefarious in some kind of way. And again, Musk is claiming here that they're withholding the data, that this is clear material breach, and there's a $1 billion clause whoever walks away from this deal is going to have to pay for. So this is going to be very interesting. I think this is going to go to court. I don't see any of these kind of companies walking away. I see a lot of posturing, because I do think the scary things in the closet of Twitter are absolutely terrifying. And if we did find out what was happening, I think people's jaws would just drop to the floor, because there is a lot of potential. It is ripe for abuse. It has been abused. What we know publicly probably is still just scratching the surface to the bigger agendas and the bigger games that are being played that we don't even know about.
There was a report back in, I think, 2012, leaked information showing that the U.S. Air Force was trying to buy sock puppet accounts so that they could use them in foreign countries to create the perception of popular narratives.
Yep.
So if you look at countries, it is believed that they were doing this in Libya. I remember during the Arab Spring, particularly during Libya, it was interesting because some of my hacker buddies said, how come so many Libyans speak North American dialect English? On Twitter, they were noticing, and the response was, many of these people who are on Twitter because they were Western educated before going back to Twitter, which makes sense.
Yeah, one of the first countries that started doing this is Israel. They started openly talking about this. This was in the early 2000s. There was mainstream news articles about literal government Israeli employees that were sitting there behind a computer, sending out particular narratives, sending out particular arguments. And also Cass Sunstein, Obama's information czar, even talked about how he is going to be utilizing the internet as a way to make people look crazy who criticize the government, create fake accounts to promote fake theories in order to destroy any legitimate criticism of government. Cass Sunstein, Obama's information czar, looked that up. I remember confronting Cass Sunstein one-on-one, face-to-face about this, and he said, I never wrote this. I never did this. The document literally has his name. It's published in peer-reviewed journals, and they were lying through their teeth. They were talking about these and this in the Obama era. What are they doing now? Man, you can only imagine.
So let's operate on the belief that Twitter is trying to kill the deal with Elon Musk. Do you think it would be because they are trying to hide what would be revealed if it went to Elon Musk, or because they want to continue to control the narrative on Twitter?
Why not both?
Or both.
Yeah. Or they just don't want to work.
I want you to pick one.
Because Elon Musk wants people to work, wants people to come into the office. He's going to change the culture, and it could be that these employees are like, well, we don't want to work. You crazy?
You saw what Elon said to Tesla last week or whatever, that everybody has to come in for a minimum of 40 hours. Otherwise, we'll assume you've resigned. I'm sure all the Twitter employees saw that and immediately started screaming and crying and rolling on the floor. We have to work.
I feel unsafe here. This doesn't work.
No, he said if you want to work from home, you have to also work from the office for a minimum of 40 hours a week. So the suggestion being any overtime you can do at home.
But this is a big story. I mean, Elon Musk uses Twitter in a very specific way. Now, Twitter is claiming that there's only 5% accounts on that entire platform that are fake, that are spam accounts, that are propaganda, government accounts, corporate accounts, whatever it is. Musk is claiming that it's over 50%. Now, that's a huge number. That's going to change the evaluation of Twitter, but also make people think, maybe what I'm seeing online, maybe what I'm seeing in the algorithms isn't really reality. And the way that Elon Musk has been harnessing Twitter recently is absolutely amazing. I've been critical of him with Neuralink, artificial intelligence, him trying to connect human brains to the internet. But when he called out the DOJ for not leaking the Epstein-Ghislaine list, holy cow. how did he send an important message to the power establishment that he's not playing, and he's willing to reveal information to the general public that would open people's eyes about what really happens behind the true seat of power.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take you into a time machine to the year of 2012. Ars Technica reports Reddit founders made hundreds of fake profiles so site looked popular. In its early days, Reddit was built on lies. Sure, lots of code, but some lies. Here's how it works. You make a social media platform, but nobody's using it. You then need to convince people it is a place to communicate and share ideas. So what do? You operate hundreds of fake accounts, and whenever you get one person to join, you respond to them, you upvote them, you follow them. They all of a sudden feel like, wow, I'm getting a lot of engagement on this platform. Imagine this. You create a social media app. You market it to high schoolers. When they sign up, you give them 1,000 or 2,000 fake followers. Those high schoolers are not going to go to all their friends and be like, I got 2,000 followers on Luke chat. And they're going to be like, you have 2,000 followers? Yeah, because I'm famous. And then these other kids are going to be like, I want to be on Luke chat and be famous. They all start signing up.
You got to talk about Bill Gates only.
You give them all fake followers. Then they're going to be like, you're still doing TikTok? Dude, I've got 10,000 followers on Luke chat. And they'll start switching over, and you will fake the community. That's what these companies do.
Yeah, that's the low level. That's the small level of what they're doing. What governments are doing, it's even far more sinister, far more complicated, especially when it comes to galvanizing people's political opinions. Because when you're able to show a majority of people that this is what the herd thinks, this is what the herd is, people are going to go along with ideas if they think a lot of other people believe them. And you could do that politically, you could do that socially, you could do that with culture. And I think that has been slowly happening ever since social media started to be used, because we're talking about just a few years ago it was declassified. It came out that Facebook was talking about engineering people's emotions through their algorithm.
They were experimenting on people.
Exactly.
Did you know
that
this?
were unsuspecting people that weren't participating in a project, didn't know they were participating in a project, but they were testing if they can make people sad, if they can make people happy. That is godlike power and authority that is absolutely unaccountable, crazy. This is what Facebook was doing years and years ago. What's Twitter doing right now with its information highway? I don't even want to speculate.
Facebook, their algorithm knows when you go to the bathroom.
Yep.
They know when you poop.
They know your friends that don't even have Facebook.
Twitter makes me sad already.
Yep.
I don't know if they have to do an algorithm to make me sad. Twitter already makes me sad. And I cannot look at you because I just get a pregnant Bill Gates looking back at me.
He's making eye contact with you right now.
I cannot pay attention to anything you're saying.
But that's technically not pregnant Bill Gates. That's just Bill Gates' gut.
Well, no, we put his face on there.
I know.
It's just his gut. It's not necessarily his pregnant.
But it was a picture of him with the big belly and the blue shirt.
Happens when you eat fake meat.
He's looking
This is why we
right
like
at me.
Elon Musk. This is why we like Elon Musk.
He tweeted this image, not this image exactly, but the pregnant emoji.
Good.
So he's playing, and again, Bill Gates is attacking him through secret organizations and nonprofit organizations that are trying to also pressure Twitter and advertisers to make sure that they're going to pull their money if Elon Musk does buy it. There's a lot of things that could happen with Elon here, because if let's say 50% of the accounts are fake, he's going to be laughed at like, oh, they got the best of him, they stole money from him, and Twitter's going to lose popularity because people are going to be like, no one's using it. So this is this is make it or break it when it comes to Twitter. So Elon Musk is making a very big move here, a lot of money. He's putting his money where his mouth is. Will Twitter give the information, give up the data? That's another question that we need to ask.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.